働きたくない、怖い、社会が怖い。もうダメだ。この仕事してたらおかしくなる。そんなこと言ったってどうすればいいの。何もできないよ。スパイスばっかだよ。
We all feel lost, stuck between expectations, deadlines, and the overwhelming sense that we should have had life figured out by now, but we don't have all the answers. Everything is messy, unpredictable, and honestly, we are tired of failing and standing up again. Why can't things just go well? Where's the lesson? This is a call for help. Today, we're diving into the world of girl failures. Instead of flawless leadership and hustle culture perfection, we'll be talking about these failures, our relentless rat race, and embracing the mess we made. Stick around as we explore why being a pathetic loser wins. で、今日の私からのメッセージ。Simply put, a girl failure is a female character who consistently fails in every possible way. Let me give you a brief background of our main characters today. Kobeni from Chainsaw Man, anxiety personified and very demure. She breaks under pressure and becomes clumsy when afraid. She was also forced by her parents into a line of work that she hates to support her brother going into college. Very relatable. Tomoko from Watamote. Desperate, socially inept, and selfish at times. The queen of second-hand embarrassment. She is always chasing popularity and coming up with new schemes to grab attention, though most of her attempts tend to fall flat. Hitori from Bocchi the Rock, not to be confused with another Bocchi, incredibly shy and reserved. If avoiding people were an Olympic sport, she'd be a gold medalist. Ironically, her need for validation drove her to learn the guitar with the sole aim of becoming a music star just to win admiration. Marcel from Dungeon Meshi. Dungeon Meshi. Smart and capable, yet always in trouble as she often spirals into insecurity when she can't prove her worth, sometimes even risking safety of her whole team thanks to her high-strung nature and difficulty with anything unfamiliar like eating monsters. Of course, there are more examples of girl failures. I keep saying that word loses its meaning, like that cutie patootie Pomni from the Amazing Digital Circus. But let's keep it to these four for now. These characters don't fit into your stereotypical girl boss mold, and that's exactly what makes them so refreshing. They feel real, flawed, and unapologetically human. But why do these imperfect girl failure moments feel so real? Could it be that the relentless chase for perfection in a chaotic world is what's really wearing us down and make us relate more to them? If you're in your 20s or early 30s, chances are you felt like life is more of a free-form jazz sesh than a well-rehearsed symphony. The pressure to hit life milestones, landing a stable job, buying a house, having your life together can feel crushing, especially when the world feels like a dumpster fire half of the time. Hustle culture sold us the idea that if we just worked hard enough, we'd have it all. If we spared no effort, we'd be happy. Now, a little side quest. Listen a bit to a boring story, a relentless nobody's biography. A nobody that had thrown away his ideals and entered the rat race because everyone that he knows told him that's what he needed to do. This miserable introvert, sold on hustle culture's promise of success, juggled a 9 to 5 with a startup built with his best of friends, enduring a grueling 100-hour work weeks where sleep was a distant memory. You can say that overtime was his coworker. This is what I needed to do. If I don't try, I won't know. This now hapless self-centered realist single-mindedly thought and disregarded everything else that's not in his interest. Unsurprisingly, he had managed to gain 10 grand in his bank account at one point, a feat that many would see in jealousy. But as he got there, he muttered, "Why aren't I happy yet? People would kill to get this amount of money. What gives?" In a desperate bit of meaning, he quit his main job to pursue the startup that initially seemed to soar, dedicating the same painstaking hours he once spent juggling 2 jobs. But just as he was riding that wave of hope, an unforeseen external force shattered his momentum and stalled the business his friends and he made for the next couple of years ahead of them. Disheartened by an unforeseen external force that diverted his business, this heartbroken yet steadfast individual remained resolute. Undeterred, he embarked on a new venture with his still trustworthy friends and new investors. Although despite meticulous planning, drawing from combined past experiences, dedicating the same exhaustive hours, crafting detailed roadmaps, projecting revenues, and assembling a team, the new startup struggled to attract enough clients to maintain development and eventually also stagnated. The conflicted, tireless, introverted mess that juggled dreams and setbacks, endlessly chasing happiness and entrepreneurial success, is now here, beyond burnt out, completely depleted, and teetering on collapse. Spending more than a decade of his dust of a life both entering the rat race and swimming upstream, yet he still hasn't found the answer and has become a failure that has lost. Now, some of you may have skipped that boring side quest, because who on earth would like to hear that life is just a giant pay-to-win roguelike? You're just here to simp over relatable girl failures. But let me ask you first, what do you feel after listening to that story? Matt, he ditched a lucrative job for a pipe dream. Thinking about your own 9 to 5 life crisis? Cringing because a third-party event wiped him out like a side character. Low-key happy he flopped because, come on, he was kind of full of himself. Inspired that he's still farming effort points even when life nerfed the drop grades. Laughing at how dumb his self-inflicted suffering looks in hindsight. Depressed that he's now just a walking existential L. Getting secondhand embarrassment so bad it feels personal. Like weirdly and parasocially invested, like is he okay? Annoyed that this sad boy arc showed up in a girl failure episode. There you go, those are the answer why we relate to girl failures. The chaotic feelings you will experience when watching any one of these girl failures, because fundamentally that's what we humans are. Kobe, even when she often breaks under pressure, she still gets into action, ruthlessly dealing with enemies. She shows us that sometimes life just throws you into chaos and all you can do is hold on. Mokochi, despite constantly failing to fit in, she eventually started to grow and made new friends. She reminds us that we are all just doing our best, and chasing perfection is way more stressful than it's worth. Like watching the anime Mochi-chan, not to be confused with another book. In spite of her extreme introverted nature, practice playing the guitar 6 hours daily, she ultimately finds Bon, Kesokuban, proving that even the most confused of us can grow. Marcel, though insecure, when unable to help her party with her magic, she already has what she thinks is most promising for the future. Her field of expertise, the study of ancient or black magic. Her misadventures show that even when life turns into a culinary dungeon, you can still find your flavor. In a world where burnout is the norm and emotions are treated like bugs, girl failures remind us that success isn't perfect. It's awkward, messy, and real. So stop comparing your day to some filtered anime romance or greener grass on the other side. Celebrate the cringe, the breakdowns, the micro wins, because that's where the real character development happens. Being a pathetic loser? Kinda flex. You tried, you felt, you showed up. That's a win. And if you're emotionally limping through life, hi, your flaws aren't bugs, they're buffs. Embrace them. You're already doing better than you think. Now, did you expect a video about girl failure to be so bittersweet? It's like watching Pura Memo all over again, which coincidentally would be a part of what the next video is about. See you there when the time comes. But until then, that introverted mess has one last message to share. Subscribe for just a wandering soul. You aren't perfect and never will be. So stop waiting for the perfect shoujo moment.